Brum brum.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ivan, it's Friday and we haven't even done a video this week.
No, well, we've been busy, haven't we? Because we've had a few followers. We had that bloke and his mate from Germany.
Yeah.
Who I've spoken to for years. Smashing bloke. You know, and he was here for a morning. And then my mate who come, you know, the man who won the Peter College Award.
Dave Hill.
Dave, yeah, he won it in 73 and I won it in 72. We met purely by accident. What a coincidence. Anyway, he was here and he bought some chocolate biscuits with him, so we ate a few of those and reminisced about the good old days. So that wasted a bit of time, but, you know, not really, because we're pleased to see anybody, really. Anyway, while all that was going on, John was plodding on as usual, so we always, even when I'm just talking, we're getting something done. And that's it, really, isn't it?
And what else has gone on in the background?
Ah, the merchandise. Well, we're getting low on that. We've sent 250 quid to Great Ormond Street. We sent 250 quid to
Salvation Army.
Salvation Army, and then we're just about to send 250 quid to the Macmillan nurses. So you can imagine how much we sold.
So we're down to the last kind of handful of T-shirts, less than 20 in total,
Yeah,
but we have got some mugs left.
We got some mugs and we got a few T-shirts, but when this is over, we're thinking of, we've got a nice man that we're going to put it in the hands of, which is, you know, because poor old Susie, she spent most of the time packing up merch. Her kitchen was covered in the stuff, and you won't believe it, but a lot of it has gone to New Zealand. How's it we've got so many fans in New Zealand? But we have. I mean, I was shocked when we sent the first lot, but we've had 4 or 5 since then, haven't we?
And the rest.
And the rest, yeah.
So
anyway.
So we thought we might go to New Zealand.
Yeah, you never know in the new year. Right, well, we're getting on with the car brilliantly. We've had this fabulous drawing from one of our followers saying how he would do the clutch, and we've taken it on board. I don't know whether we do it exactly like that, but it's very good because it gives you sort of all the measurements really. So thank you very much, John. That's a knockout. And if we get anything else clever to do, keep your eye out. You might be able to help us again. Anyway, so that's that. So the engine's not in there for good, but next time it goes in, it'll be in there for good. This is because we put 6 inches in the chassis, and we decided to put 6 inches in the bonnet.
Okay.
Well, we were at one stage we were going to put it up that end, but now we've decided to put it up this end.
Okay.
But as you can see,
It's all filler.
the poor old car's had a few knocks in its life.
Good.
Right there, look, it's like
4 inch thick. Yeah,
you know, we're half the weight of the car.
It's easy just to make a new bonnet.
No, not really. We want to keep it original, don't we? That's what happens. Years ago,
But do you think this is
people
the
with
original
Bugattis
bonnet?
had really new bodies made because they were a little bit iffy.
But do you think this is the original one?
Oh, yeah.
With that much filler,
Yeah, I'm confident. Yeah. All the times it's been raced and crashed and what have you.
It actually looks better without the filler because you can see with the filler it all looks rounded and there's no...
Yeah, they haven't followed the line good, have they?
No.
See, that's a better line there than there.
It all just looks like it's full of filler.
But that wouldn't worry me at all. If it was running, I'd be quite happy about that.
Yeah.
We've actually
You've got the nose back on.
Yeah, well, we just put it back on to line the bonnet to see where. Just don't forget this here. There's 6 inches in there.
Yes, right. Yeah.
But we're looking now into making the bodywork fit. Well, the under tray, the only thing we've had to do there is to stick 6 inches on there. So we've tacked it up ready. And we're not very good at gas welding. aluminium, so my son will do that. Tim said he'd do it for us.
Oh, good.
So we tacked it up and do that. And then that's the radiator, that bit there has obviously got 6 inches on it. So again, we've tacked it up and Tim will gas it and then we'll have to beat it into shape. Now the side panels, we haven't got to touch them for some reason. I don't know why. I can't explain it because I thought we moved the engine forward, but we obviously didn't do much because they fit perfectly. So the next thing really is these things, which are very crabby, you know, they've been repaired 100 times. And they go just there, and as you can see, they're short.
Yeah.
So, so now we're going to, we decided that it's easier just to make new ones of those.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing here. So that's going to be more or less the same as that there, but it'll be 6 inches longer there, and then them other bits there where the thing goes. So we put the joggle in there, look. So that's good.
Oh, that, yeah.
So that's where the bonnet comes down and lands.
Yeah.
So that's that, and then obviously that will get cut out and bent over. That's going to get riveted onto there, and then I'm going to take that edge off of there because that will be that joggle, which is exactly how they've done it. So we'll do it the same as that, but anyway, so that's going to be that. So that'll be that, and then the other side is the same.
Yeah.
Except on the other side, I've got to alter this. I've got to alter that bit because that's where we lifted that up. See, that's in a different place. So that centre will have to come up here somewhere.
Oh, I see, because you lifted that
Lifted
steering.
it up to get the brake things in. Hang on, I might wind it back a bit. But this is how we used to do it. When we used to do this, when I was an apprentice pattern maker, if we were making a template or something, we would we would plane the edge of the aluminium. Made a really nice colour.
Is that a bit blunt?
My old plane is a bit blunt, but we'll see. And then the other thing we've done, without really altering very much, we've managed to move the seat back 2 inches.
Okay.
So we're now going to alter this. So, you know, what with the seat moved back and the pedals in a good place, to be honest, you can sit in it now and it don't feel ridiculous, you know, it feels like more or less normal.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So how tall a man do you think, or woman, do you think could drive it?
Oh, I think now you could get 6 foot tall in there.
Really?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And I mean, they used to squeeze themselves in before, so it's got to be a lot easier now. So that's that. We will alter the clutch pedal. We'll make that. We'll stick another point in it, and that will be that done.
Yeah.
We've got to weld 2 bits of tube in there, but we know we've got to do that. So when we take it all to pieces, we'll go around and check all the bits of welding in case there's any little bits more, and then we'll blast it.
Oh, okay.
And we'll paint it grey, because that bit there, look, I think is original.
This bit here.
Yeah, and then there is a colour called Dutton Grey, because Timothy does the chassis on the Bugattis. They were done grey originally, and we've ordered so much of it now over the years, there is actually a colour, so we might as well do it that colour. We've done the steering. That, we've made up a thing holding the steering wheel. That's going to have a roller bearing each side, which we're waiting to come. And then that joins up with the UJ, which is in there somewhere.
Oh, there.
That will that will come round there like that. That will go into there. And then that will go on there with 2 bearings.
Yeah.
And then that will put the steering wheel exactly as it would have been on the original car.
Yeah.
Which follows the angle of that. So we've had to make that, because obviously the minute you introduce a UJ, it's going to have to be mounted, because you can't rely on that shaft holding it. So that's why that's a bit strong. But that'll all work nicely. And then the steering wheel goes on there, and old John's put a keyway in it. This is John putting a keyway in.
Yeah. So what we've done, we've just got a tool on its side.
Jam this up.
Jam the lathe up, and then
Yeah.
we go along like that, and then we just do a couple of thou at a time, and it broaches out the keyway.
Okay.
Literally like that. Couple of thou on the dial, go back in again, and just keep doing it.
And this keyway is going where exactly?
That stops the spline
In which bit though?
on the steering column
Oh, for
spinning.
the steering column.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you turn the steering wheel, it just don't rotate on this taper.
Oh, okay,
Not
okay,
that it probably
okay.
would, but it's an extra precaution.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
See, then that goes onto there. Like that, and then the steering wheel fits on there. So that'll be the steering done. That'll all line up nicely. And that will, then while we tried it, it all works nicely. So that'll get shortened a little bit. So, you know, really it's coming on really well. I mean, I'm hoping by the Christmas we'll have a car.
Oh, fantastic.
You know, because if we can get the welding done, because old Tim's ever so busy, but he might do it the weekend for us. I think I'll set him going by doing that one on the under tray so he doesn't think he's got a lot to come, and then slowly ease it into him. So that's it. So really, I mean, it's really good. Obviously, we're not going to change it'll still only have front wheel, rear wheel brakes. The front won't have anyway. But I think initially to get it near a car, that's the more important thing at the moment, because we can always go back. I mean, you could take this to bits in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, especially as we've done it now. You know, every time we do a car, we always make it so that in the future we might have to take it to bits.
And you're going to have disc brakes on the rear.
Yes, it's got disc brakes.
It's got disc brakes, because you did
It's
talk
had
about drum brakes.
I would say it's had those since the early 50s,
Oh, okay.
because they're like aircraft brakes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forget what you call them now, but it's got quite
It's got a brand on it there.
Yeah. What does it say? Earhart.
Earhart.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I think they were airplane blokes, Earhart.
Okay.
So yeah, just a nice clean up, and then we'll try and make the welding all look a bit nicer.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then coat it grey, and then.
And then what colour are we going to have it? This colour? Yellow?
We'll see how badly we get on, because we did have some paint matched up. So, you know, it ain't going to look, it doesn't look wonderful now. So, you know, we might well just, you know, blend it in, and then we'll mask it up really carefully and keep that. And then that, you see, that's off colour anyway, so you never know. We don't know. But if not, we'll take all the paint off it. And my idea is to paint it white, because that's the racing colours of America, I think, white. So we'll have it a sort of off-white a little bit. And then we can, you know... I mean, the thing is, if we're going to do anything in England, they ain't necessarily going to give you number 8, because they give you any old number,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So, you know, you might be covering that up if we ever do manage to do anything with it. I mean, at my mind, at the moment, I've got just driving it around the field. But we'll see. But it's coming on good. Whatever way it goes, everybody, hope you all have a good Christmas. And
I hate to tell you, we're going to be doing another video before Christmas.
then
at
when
our
you get
usual
bored
rate.
over Christmas, you can always have a look at all the shed racing ones that you probably might have missed. Or watch them again. Right, as you all know, Susie's got this Bugatti, and we've got it running.
We've had it for a year now. It was this time last year.
Yeah, we went to Prescott a few times. We've got it running good. But the wiring was desperate. And, you know, although we can do wiring, we can't do it as good as the proper people. And there's a lovely bloke called Winston Teague, who does a lot of vintage wiring. So, you know, they've got all the wire that is cotton coated, covered, and you know, old bits of stuff rather than, you know, having a load of modern stuff on it. So anyway, what we've done, we've had those made into the indicators, the side lights are in the headlamps, and then obviously the headlamps dip and full beam. But then I said, you know, the other night, I forget what happened, we were somewhere and someone had broken down on a hard shoulder, and I said to Susie, you've got to have the flashing lights.
Hazard warning lights.
You've got to have them, you know, because modern people are so used. You don't see old cars that much these days. So you could have a person that's hardly ever seen an old car. In fact, they wouldn't even, you know, even when they saw one, they probably didn't take any notice of it. So I think you've got to go modern as much as you can. So although we've got original scintilla rear lights, which Susie will show you.
I think they're original, as in they're repro, but yeah.
Yeah, they're repro, but
they look the part.
They look the part, and they're horrible old things
Yeah.
here. So we made that look neat, and then we put the number plate down
light,
there,
yeah.
and then they put a little light on the number plate.
And we've got a USB connector for a mobile phone or whatever.
Yeah, and
That'll scare them off. Let me show you at the front of that.
so I think that's good.
I hadn't realised it flashed red at the back of here.
Yeah. So, you know, when you look under the dash now, there is a loom.
Dark.
You know, there's a loom under there. And we've got
It's a bit
proper,
dark. And then the USB connector there.
And we've got a proper button now, which we bought from Albert.
Over the overdrive.
The overdrive. That's the hooter. And that is, I don't know, let's check the hooter. Aye.
Is that not the overdrive?
Oh, let's see. No, yeah. Well done, Susie. That's the hooter. And that's the overdrive. So that looks nice and vintage.
And is it, we'll have to switch it all off because that's a little blue light on there.
Yeah, it stays on all the time for some reason.
We'll disconnect the battery at the back.
So we got in here, we've got the magic switch. Is it gone out now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, if you're going to leave the car for a few weeks, we'll switch that off. So we've done some
So
good
all we
jobs.
need to do now is the hood.
The hood.
And
yeah.
some sunshine to go somewhere nice.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this summer it won't be raining all the time, but if it is, at least we'll have a hood.
Yeah.
So that's the next job, really. Me and John are gonna. We've got the hole where it goes here. So
Yeah.
me and John, we've got lots of pictures, and what we want to do is try and have a thing that's simple to hold there, and there. And then when it all folds down, we don't want a great pile of stuff at the back here. We want a neat sort of hood bag holding the hood and the sticks and everything all in. So that wants a little bit of design. Now, obviously we'll copy a real one, but, you know, I think it'll be good. But don't forget to subscribe, press the like button, and hopefully we'll all be here next year and we'll have a lovely time.